Aries, welcome to your monthly Sidereal forecast for August of 2015. My name is Athen. So we've got a lot of activity this month, actually. Let's go ahead and look at your chart. We've got, I'm going to go ahead and go through this step by step with the days of the month here. So right at the beginning on the 1st and 2nd, Saturn goes station direct. So he recently dipped into your 7th house of relationships again, where he had been for the past many years, and one-on-one connections and contracts and things like that. So something to finish up now this month, right before he goes back into that 8th later on in the month, on the 28th, 29th. He'll go into that 8th. So finishing up this month, the relationship stuff, whatever it is, that discipline, hard work, patience, maturity, commitment, things like that, whatever it might be for you, and then that's it. He's gone. He won't be back here for another 28 years. So that's going to be the first and second shift there with Saturn going direct, and any new insights you gain about relationships in terms of how you can put in that Saturn energy will be a good way to kick off the month. Now on the 3rd, we've got Jupiter then squaring up to that Saturn. In fact, Saturn is a very big player this month. He's going to be forming a lot of important aspects. The first being here, square from Jupiter. So Jupiter, it's a very benefic planet, actually. So when he makes contact to Saturn, it actually lifts that energy up a little bit and makes it a little bit more bountiful in that sense. So here Jupiter's been transiting your 4th house, and he's about to shift houses. He's about to go into your 5th here. So everything relating to home, family, past roots, your emotional body and stuff should have been quite, expansive, adventurous maybe, but at least learning a lot about those areas of your life, perhaps philosophically or through study and things like that, which is sometimes Jupiter as well. So whatever it is, that stuff is now requiring this integration. So basically the way I would say this is, with this discipline stuff with the relationships, whatever these opportunities you've been expanding on with 4th house, with home and family, bring that into it. You see, the square energy is about incorporation. It's about action. So it can be that maybe there are some, things to work on with relationships, such as bringing your emotions into them a little bit. Maybe it could be relationships in with home, with family, with, your siblings, things like that. So whatever it is, the key here is to have that expansive view and see those opportunities, which certainly are available in both the relationship side of things, and even maybe to even get some things done and take care of some things around home and family. This early part of the month will be a good way to work with this square. Now, this is the first square between these two planets. It's going to be an ongoing theme up until May of next year. So at that point, though, Jupiter will be in your 5th, so it'll be a little bit of a different energy, but it's usually something new, something we're understanding here about relationships, home, past, and how those things can be integrated and worked together with. And that's going to be the kickoff to this. So that's the 3rd, and then we've got also on the 3rd, Venus going retrograde back into your 4th house. So there's a lot of emphasis with home, family, past roots, things like that. That's where we're going to have this new moon in this middle part of the month on the 14th. So with Venus going back in here, when she does, she pretty much conjoins right up to Jupiter at that same time, around the 3rd and 4th. And it's a very interesting time period, actually, this whole 3rd and 4th kind of time. Because as you can see, Mercury is actually very, very close by. She's going to be making conjunctions, and there's this whole conjunction configuration thing between these 3 planets, Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus, for about that 1 week period from around the 4th through the 7th. Well, actually that's just a few days, a few day period there. So with that being said, Venus going back into the 4th, you can certainly enjoy the home, family, past roots like you did last month. And so there's a reflection about it, though, because Venus is going backwards. So it's always this thinking about it, maybe it is relationships at home, with family, past, emotions in your relationships. It's a big part of this. Venus does naturally rule your 7th house for you, Aries. So there's an expansiveness to it, though, and this is where these 2 planets were conjunct last time. This is actually the 2nd conjunction now. Last month in July, we had that conjunction between these 2, so that was creating a lot of openness and opportunities, perhaps, to do some of these 4th house matters. So another opportunity there with that can be very enjoyable, just taking whatever you've learned and reflecting on it, not going to any extremes again with anything relating to the relationships, maybe even your finances and values. since Venus does naturally rule your second house. And but as long as it's balanced, there can be some more wisdom and things to understand about that stuff, and expand that area of your life. So then on the 6th and 7th, Venus then goes over Mercury, and then Jupiter goes over Mercury as well. When that happens, both Jupiter and Mercury go into that 5th house. So this is very subtle, so this is around the 7th here. So basically what that means is that there's a lot to be learned, because Mercury is the very analytical, very intellectual planet. Also has to do with the day-to-day activities. So enjoying those day-to-day activities, how you can enjoy those more would be a good way of working with that with Venus. Expanding the day-to-day stuff, seeing the opportunities there, can certainly be some opportunities coming in with that. And with the 5th house, this is about self-expression. So you're going to slowly start to notice the shift this early part of the month, relating more towards expressing yourself, fun, creativity, joy, romance, all of this very light energy of the 5th house. And there can be certainly opportunities now for the next year with Jupiter transiting this 5th house of yours in relation to those things. It's also small business, children, for those of you who have children or thinking about having children, anything that is essentially what puts a smile on our face, or speculative is another way of looking at that as well. So opportunities there with Jupiter, and then Mercury. You can certainly understand that, apply that to the day-to-day stuff, and enjoy it with Venus very close by as well. So while this is happening, this whole three-way conjunction, the stellium here, is squaring up to Saturn. So Saturn, like I was saying, a major player. And so the square energy here is about balance. It's about, taking it slow, discipline, pragmatism, all of that stuff about relationships that I was saying about commitment and relationships. It's, commitment and maturity and stuff in relationships. That is Saturn in the 7th. So implementing that, stern approach to things, that mature approach to the creative stuff, to the home stuff, family stuff, relationships, finances, even, keeping that tight observational awareness of that stuff there, and even things relating to your philosophy and expansion and travel and spirituality, keeping a tight watch on that, not going to any extremes, and perhaps even working hard on that stuff while things are certainly expanding for you in those areas. So that being said, then interestingly, right around that same time, Mars will be forming an exact trine up to Saturn right around the 7th here. So this energy is very much about, let me see something actually. Yeah. So this energy is very much about this shift, because Mars is going to be going into your 4th house, where he's been in your 3rd, and Mars in the 3rd house is quite uncomfortable actually, because Mars is a very active, very assertive, very physical planet in the sign of, in the house of mental understanding and communications, very airy house. Mars doesn't actually work very well here. So the important thing is that what you'll notice this month is that your vigor, your energy will probably start to improve. Probably already noticing that at the beginning of the month anyways, with your sun starting to go up, because these two planets like to be at the top of the chart. And so now Mars going into the 4th, still a location where, it's about feelings and stuff. And so he is actually debilitated in this sign of Cancer. So the important thing here is that to take it slow, work, one step at a time, and assert your feelings in a balanced way. And this can be putting energy into home, putting energy into your sentiments, reflecting on your feelings this month, is a big part of this. And then through that, what you'll find is it is unlocking that Mars energy. Maybe not in the way that we're used to, which is that 10th house, but in a way that is about those things that are important to you emotionally, and taking it slow and balanced, and just being patient with it too, because again, Mars isn't in his full energy here. So that being said, he is going to be here now for the next 2.5 months. So take it slow, and there's new beginnings shaping up here around these 4th house matters. But with that trine up to Saturn is actually supporting this discipline energy. So I think the intent, all the intention that you have around home and family matters, past roots, your sentiments, etc., will be a good way to work with this whole configuration this early part of the month. So as you can see, a lot's taking place early part up and through the 7th. Then on the 12th, Mercury opposes up to Neptune. So here, this energy is going to be this balancing energy we're going to notice into next month as well, later part of this month when the sun opposes up to here. And this is about balance with all this stuff that's happening, shifting for you with your creativity, fun, joy, self-expression, it's requiring a balance of Neptune. Neptune has been reminding you over many years the importance of faith and trust with everything that is about giving. And so it's important to have that giving orientation. Neptune is a very giving planet anyways. And in the 11th, this might have to do with either in your community, with friends, with ideals, with visions larger than self, etc. So remembering that stuff and bringing that into it, because the 5th house is a very self-oriented house, which is great. It's fun and passionate, but just keeping that intuition, that guidance on giving and helping and spending time with friends and things like that will help balance out this very strong self-oriented 5th house energy, which can be very fun and very enjoyable. So that's going to be around the 12th, and that'll be a sort of ongoing balance theme between the 5th and the 11th this month. Then on the 14th, we've got the new moon in that 4th house of yours. It's a new beginning shaping up around home and family this month. Energies are always subtle around this time, so reflecting on this stuff around mid-month. Then all's quiet in the astrology up until the 21st, in which the sun will be changing houses for you going into that 5th. So first of all, the sun is in a well-placed position in Leo for all of us, going into the 5th house, which is a really good house for the sun in the sense that it rules it. So here, with Jupiter already here, Mercury already here, you're probably already thinking a lot about or working with the creative, stuff, or at least could be, and I really recommend it this month. But now with the sun here, there's a lot of that intent available. So especially with those new beginnings around, the 4th house, you can certainly take what you've, started with the 4th house, which is the emotional stuff, and then make it so that there's more passion with it. It's creative, it's fun, it's joyful, it's playful. This is the typical example of when we're in touch with our feelings, then we're able to sort of move into and elaborate on those feelings and really tap into that passion and create things and whatever it is that we might be wanting to be involved with that gives us passion about the 5th house. So anyways, a shift there around the 21st, and then that square up to Saturn, of course, because he's squaring this whole cusp area of your 5th house this month, is staying balanced with relationships, like I've been saying, not going to any extremes with that. Being willing to work hard with them and take it easy, nice and slow with that will be important, especially with your self-expression, because a lot of times too, there's this seriousness to it, because normally the 5th house is, just fun and joy and just it's very lighthearted, but when Saturn plays the role, it can make it quite serious, and you have to kind of work at it and discipline. And so if you're willing to do that, in other words, if you're willing to set foundations to have fun, if you're willing to work hard to have fun, that kind of thing, and by work hard, it just means, take it seriously, your fun that is, then this energy actually works quite good, considering the fact that it's kind of paradoxical in nature. But by willing to do that, you can set some good foundations so you can have more of that passion in your life. So that's the shift there around the 21st. And then on the 26th, the sun then conjoins up to Jupiter in that 5th house. So that's going to be very nice. Then he's no longer squaring up to Saturn at that point. Well, very minorly, but not nearly as strong. So here, around this later part of the month, I think this is where you're going to start to really see a lot more about the passion, the excitement, the zest. This is where you're going to have a new moon next month. In that 5th house, but a conjunction up to Jupiter really expands these things and really helps you understand what it is you're really excited about, passionate about. New beginnings relating to fun, romance, children, creativity, etc. can certainly be the case, and you can certainly be seeing the upside of those things around the 5th. So any opportunities you see to do that kind of stuff, put energy into that stuff, it's certainly flowing for you and can certainly be available around the 26th. Then at that same time, Mercury goes into your 6th house, where it's about the health and routine. It's actually, he's in dignity in Virgo. He likes to be in the 6th house because he rules it. So there is a lot of stuff perhaps to learn and take care of in the day-to-day work environment towards this very, very late part of the month, and that's going to go into the next month of September. And then Mercury conjoins up to that north node, further emphasizing that this whole life path is about health and routine and diet and all of that 6th house stuff, being of service, your work, things of that nature. So intentions there, things should flow quite smoothly, I would say, with this kind of configuration. No tough aspects. Sextile from Saturn is actually quite nice. And then on the 29th, Saturn, around the 29th, this is subtle energy because the houses are, not too personal in terms of your guys' unique birth times or birthdays if you're watching this for your sun sign. But Saturn goes back into your 8th, so this is where he's going to be now for the next few years, 2.5 years of disciplining the deeper connections of life, shared resources, taking that stuff seriously, and vulnerability, openness, trust in relationships, things like that, which is certainly something that is important in life, and we can build some solid foundations with that so that we have those deeper connections and a deeper meaning of life, which is what the 8th house is really about, seeing the truth. And Saturn is very much about the realistic, the raw truth of ourselves on the inside and of our reality as well. But it comes from the self first. It's a very watery house. Then on the 30th and 1st, we've got Venus conjoining up to Mars while she's retrograde, and this is going into September. But very end of this month, certainly things to enjoy with that passion, because Mars is, when these two planets come together, it's very much about that yin-yang, masculine, feminine energy coming together, still in Leo, but in the area of home and family. So whatever it is you learned this month about home, past, roots, family, things like that, your sentiments, here, you can certainly put that energy into it. And this is Mars now being well aspected by Venus, who can, your energy levels, like I said, will start to improve, and you can you'll understand perhaps a lot more and put more of this energy into the 4th house, which is where Mars wants to operate. And it just takes that extra awareness to do so. Okay. And that's mostly going into September as well, where you're going to have this new moon. Another thing too is the sun will be opposing up to Neptune going into the 1st as well. So just remember all month to keep that balance between what's important to you and what's important to others, and other oriented can certainly assist and balance a lot of this 5th house activity for you. So Aries, have a nice month. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're new to Sidereal, do check out the website or the description, because this is different from traditional Western astrology. If you'd like a personal reading, please go to the website, and I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.